Welcome, everyone, to the Crystal Starnes Show with your producer and host, Crystal Starnes. Today, we have a fabulous guest coming on the show, but I want to first say thank you to everyone out there that's watching and listening to this podcast. I'm so happy you're here, and if you support what I'm doing, please hit the subscribe button on the channel, because that only helps me continue to produce content. And I love having a following, and I love helping everyone out there in the community. And thank you again for tuning in today. And I also want to give a shout out to Relive. Relive has been around for over 35 years. They are a company that promotes healthy living, and they've got so many nutritional products that can help everybody in the family, including children. I know school's around the corner. And there's a product called Kids Now, and I'm going to show you what it is, if you can see it, Kids Now. And it's full of nutrition. If you can see the back of it, this is all vitamins. And this supplement actually has helped my youngest daughter. She takes it, and she's taken it for years, and it helps with focusing. And, it even helps with, their mood and everything. I love the stuff, and I would highly recommend you trying it. And they do have a money-back guarantee. And if you want to find this product, you can go to healthyfirstnow.com. Again, healthyfirstnow.com. And also, they have another product called GLP for weight loss. And this is it right here. And it's all natural supplement. And it does not have the side effects like those injectables have. And it's a very good product, and it's helping a lot of people lose weight. And you can find that product at reliveaffiliate.com/Crystal Starnes. Again, reliveaffiliate.com/Crystal Starnes. And I will also have both links in the description of this show. Well, now let's talk about who is coming on. Alan Greenstein is from Maryland, and he's an actor. He is a film producer. He also owns the company Support Our #Creatives, which promotes people in the industry to get their content recognized. And he is very good at promoting your content. So if you are looking for somebody to help you in the industry, you need to get a hold of Alan, because he's amazing. And he has been in a lot of movies as well. He's also produced movies, and he's a very good person to know. And also, if you are doing podcasting, you should have him on your show. Well, with that being said, let's welcome Alan to the stage. Hi, Alan. How are you today?
Hi, Crystal. I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on. And I'm going to start by talking about basically the mission statement of my company, Support Our #Creatives. Our goal is to level the playing field for underrepresented demographics so that everybody has the same chance as everyone else to get their projects made and seen and distributed. I'm also on the board of directors of the Bella Levy Foundation, and the goal of the Bella Levy Foundation is to fight human trafficking and provide a safe haven for its warriors.
That's awesome. Yes, I forgot about the foundation that you're part of. So I apologize for that, but I'm glad that you brought it up.
Yeah, of course.
So I guess we'll get started with, giving the audience a little bit about who you are and your background, and maybe how you got into the industry.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's really, because when I was really young, I was always fascinated by things involved in entertainment. I'd be watching TV, and I would wanted to see the credits at the end. And I'd be fascinated by the different kinds of credits that there are, like writers and producers and directors and stuff. And I always wanted to know, what do these people really do? So that's how I really began at an early age, wanting to be in the entertainment industry. Although in reality, it didn't happen until many years later. There was a time in the 70s when I went out to California on vacation, and I was actually in the audience of the very popular comedies of the 70s, such as Mary Tyler Moore and Good Times and programs like that. And that was a great experience too, because I actually got to see what they're doing, as the program was being filmed, like looking at how the sets were laid out, looking at the camera positions and stuff like that. So that was another thing. But then, but it really took social media years later in the back in the 2000s, where that really got me started when I joined Twitter in 2009, and somehow people started reaching out to me and asked me if I wanted to be a part of their projects, whether it be a web series or whatever it is, So that was really how it all started. And so social media, I'm sure a lot of you would agree, has been a game changer. It has opened the door for a lot of people to get into the industry that formerly really didn't really have any way of getting in unless you really knew somebody. But with social media, all the people on there who are in the industry and are, they're right there, what they're doing. I indicate my interest, and that just leads to more and more people, wanting to reach out to me to do stuff. So that's and over the years, more and more, joined more and more social media platforms, and always made great connections with people in the industry. And once again, that's definitely a positive situation. And well, you use the crystal as an example. After all, I met you through Bella Levy, and and so it's just a matter of networking as well as social media to try to get as many contacts as you can. And I know that you've been doing similar things. I know you're a public figure and everything. And so basically your path was actually pretty much kind of different from my path, because you had something serious that happened to you that led to where you are today in terms of people knowing about you. And yeah.
Yes, I agree with that. Yeah. It's like with being a public figure, everybody knows me around the world, and it came easy for me to do this, 3 years ago because, obviously I am a public figure and I have a huge following, just because of that. I think that's helped me, because even when I Google my name, everything comes up, I'm very well known, and, so.
Yeah, so I think basically everybody has their own story, and it's different. As I said, our two stories are very different, and other people even have different stories about how they got to the point where they are today. So yeah, so I know, and everybody knows you, as I said, and they know that the work you do is very important.
Well, thank you. I'm trying. I want to help as many people as I can. That's the whole goal. I feel like it's a calling, and, so I just keep plugging away. And what's nice is people just keep reaching out to me. I'm not seeking people to come on the show. They're actually reaching out to me. So it kind of comes easy for me because, people email me and I get them set up. So,
Yeah. And that's the thing I find very interesting, is because, and a lot of people say that people they reach out to you, to the podcast host, to be on the show. For me, it's a little bit different. Sometimes people do ask me to be on, but much of the time I have to go out and seeking guests myself. So that's definitely a difference there.
Well, I will, I will try to send you people, as I get them as well. I'll throw out your name, to try to help you, because, they want to be on a lot of podcasts. So if I get someone on my show, then I can share them with you, and then they can be on your show, or you can be on, if they're a podcaster, you can be on their show.
Yeah, it's exactly. Yeah. And what do you think, what is the importance of being a guest on other people's podcasts?
Well, I think why it's important to do that. When I first started this, I was asked so many times to be on shows, and I kept saying no, no, no. But, as I thought about it, I started saying yes, yes, yes this year, because it is important, because then you promote yourself, you promote your content, you promote what you're doing, and people will, see about you. And the whole time I was, promoting everybody else, which is great. I mean, that's what I wanted to do, but I need to also promote myself. I am recognized, but it is good to get interviewed, and I've enjoyed the experience of getting interviewed by people because people ask you different questions. It's an experience, when you're meeting different podcasters, and I've enjoyed it so far doing it. I've been on several shows this year, and I'm glad I did it. I just didn't want to be on the shows before. I think it was just because I didn't want to keep talking about my story, because it is traumatizing. But, it has helped me, overcome that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's easier for me to talk about it now.
Yeah. Well, that's good. You had to be at a point in your overall plan, where we said this is the good time for me to be on other people's podcasts because of this reason that you said. You feel more comfortable, and you figure now is the time. So it's the same thing with me. I also, would want to be on other people's podcasts, and I'm getting back into it now. I haven't done it for a while because I've been so busy just, theory my own podcast, supporting hashtag creatives. But now I am trying to get back into the point where I will be appearing on other people's podcasts. So there are some number of opportunities that are coming up, and I'll be taking additional opportunities, as they come up.
Right. Now, I know that you've been in a couple movies recently. Did you want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I first want to point out, as my organization, Putting Hashtag Creators, I consider I'm primarily a producer or an executive producer, stuff like that. But if some opportunities come along and you figure it's best that you take it. So let's use filmmaker June DeGuiso as an example, because he's a common thread for both of us in terms of being in films. So as I said. Once again, I keep mentioning Bella Levy. She introduced me to June DeGuiso because, he was looking for people to be extras in a church scene of one of his films. And, and Crystal, that's when I met you in person for the first time, because you were there too, even though I already known about you, but that's the first time I got to meet you in person. So June, he's very giving. He gives opportunities to people all the time. Not just for people to be, let's say, actors in his films and stuff, but also he uses people's music as a background score in his films. So basically, it's great to know someone like June who is willing to give people opportunities, give them their start. So all of a sudden, he asked me, do you want to, he asked me if I want to be executive producer of his films. I said, yeah, I will be. My wife Randy and I were both executive producers of his films, and in addition to that, we also will be appearing on screen with actual scripted speaking roles, and that's a really big deal in my opinion. And it's learning lines is very challenging to me. So that's I really have to hand it to the actors who are in every scene of a film. They have to learn a zillion lines. How they do it, I guess it's some technique that you just master over the years. For me, it's still quite new, but once again, I'm happy to do it. It's something new for me, and it's always important to do something new. It's another way for people to recognize me. Say, oh, maybe we can use Alan in my film too. Yeah, so that's what happened. And as I said, the same. And you of course have been in films from June, and even you've had other films as well. What other films have you been a part of?
I was part of the Friday the 13th, The Awakening. I got to interview two male actors on that. And I was also in a couple movies with June, the one you and I think both of the movies probably we were in.
Saving Honor, that's the first one that we were in together.
Yeah. And then there was another one that we did together as well. I was in a scene for a domestic violence victim. I was in two different scenes on that one. And then I've produced a couple movies as well. A Wonderful Life, and I'm not sure what the other one name is, but everything's in IMDb, what I've done. So, and I might be being in a movie in the near future. I'm not going to say the name of it, but it's somebody out west that's producing a movie. Elaine Ballas is starring in it as well. She's a good friend of mine, and I'm probably going to be in that movie as well. So I don't want to ruin it. It will be on Facebook sooner than later, probably. So when the announcement comes out, but yeah, and I don't know what I'm doing in the movie yet, but I've been in contact with the film producer of it, and I'm going to be getting a role in that movie.
Oh, that is excellent. And I know that you're going out to Hollywood for at least 2 years now for the Oscars. Has been an important part of what you do.
Yes, I love going out there because I meet so many people. The networking is amazing. I would highly recommend anyone out there that's trying to network in the industry, make time, spend the money, go out there and do this because you meet so many wonderful people and it's such an opportunity. You get on the red carpet, you get, to be exposed to all of that publicity. And, I promote my Voice for Victims and the Crystal Starnes show when I'm out there. And I just love it, and I like getting dressed up. I mean, I wasn't one to wear fancy dresses. I mean, obviously, I'm a retired probation officer, but, I've come out of my shell, and I've put the fancy dresses on, and I think I can pull it off. So I like it. I enjoy it. It's fun. You feel like a princess, and it's a good time,
Yeah, I mean, I think that's an excellent. People should always take advantage of in-person, networking if possible. It's
right.
just a couple of years ago, of course, pretty much we couldn't really have in-person meetings. So but unfortunately the technology was there that allowed people to meet, like on different apps, by online instead of meeting in person. But there's something special about actually meeting people in person.
Yes, I agree because then it's more of a connection and you relate to these people. Like, some people have this misconception that, actors are real stuck up and, they think they're better than other people. I mean, that's what people view it as. And they think, oh, wow, but really when you go out there and you meet these people, they're not stuck up. They are down to earth. They're just like everybody. They're nice. I mean, I have made so many friends in the industry. I mean, they are just like us, like everyday people. I mean, they're no different than anybody. And, they're not stuck up. And, the people that I've encountered, you think that would be, and they're not. I mean, they're nice people. And I just want to put that out there because there's just so many people out there that try to, they're afraid or they like, oh, I don't want to be around this person or, that person, they're going to think less of me now. They don't think like that. The lady that runs the event that I go to, Samara, she is amazing. She's a nice lady. She's a good person, and she's the top person doing this event. And she's a good lady. She's down to earth. She has a caring heart and, don't be afraid. I mean, if you want to go to this event, get in contact with me. I can get you set up to get you a ticket. It's a good time. It's fun and it's well worth it if you're trying to keep your name out there and get your product recognized.
Exactly. Very good. Very good. Yeah. Yeah. In terms of being in person, I want to talk about my experience on set behind the scenes. I mean, that was here in Maryland where I live. There's quite a big indie community. One of them is mentioned by Jubilee, so we mentioned him already. I should say the DMV, the whole Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia area there. There are lots of indie producers, and I have been involved with a lot of their projects. And since they're actually doing their filming, right in my area, I also tried to get on set as often as possible. Like maybe whether it be a production assistant or a script supervisor, or anything, just to be there, to be on set, to see, because once again, just to see how it's all done, to be there as they're doing their takes and they're setting up the scenes and all that sort of stuff. So that's something I really enjoy doing. And that was really my first objective when I started getting involved in entertainment, after joining social media, was to say, I wanted to be on set. It took me a while to get there, but now that I am, I get more and more, you get more opportunities all the time. Usually, you get an opportunity, more opportunities will follow. And so that's one thing I really enjoy is being on set.
Yes, I agree. I would love to do some more acting roles, because I enjoy it. And, it is hard to learn lines, but, I've been able to do it and I know I can do it. So, I would love to have the opportunity to do more acting, and even like, with what I used to do for a living, I mean, I could be in that type of a role, anything in the court system, I could probably fill because I testified in court. I worked in the court system. I know all the players. So, I've got the experience, all those years of that. And I have an education. I've, a bachelor's degree in criminal justice and a master's in organizational leadership. So, I mean, I've got the education. I've got the experience. I know I could do it. So.
Yeah. Oh, that is perfect. I know there are these various websites out there that, they indicate that they want people for certain roles. And with the experience that you have, if you were I don't know, there must be somebody searching on films that say, where the subject is crime or courtrooms or stuff like that, you might be able to find something, and then you might be able to audition or apply for it or whatever. So that's great to you. So using your actual life experience, to be in those kinds of films, I think that is a great approach.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so I guess, how do you get your following for your podcasting? Like, what do you do?
Okay. Well, I first let me say my name of my podcast is Supporter Hashtag Creatives. And just like my mission statement, it's the same idea. Most of my interviews are people in the entertainment industry, but creatives don't have to be in the entertainment industry. They can be, anybody who does something, or someone who writes a book, or someone who builds a widget or something like that. Any creative, I'm willing to have on my show. We can talk about this sort of stuff. So, so the main way that I reach out to people is through social media. I'm always publicizing on media such as Facebook or Instagram and those particular things. And so in preparation for when I'm going to do my podcast. Currently, I do it live, and then repurpose it to later on to put it on Spotify. When I do it live, I do it through StreamYard, and I have StreamYard send it out to Facebook and YouTube, for example. So if people want to watch it live, they can. So once again, I reach out to people, who I've already worked with in the past, and I ask them if they want to be on the podcast. So that's another thing. And this way people become familiar with it. And once again, and some people even reach out to me to be on it. So my publicity, must be having some effect. I basically talk about it all the time. When I'm at various screenings, like get-togethers and stuff like that, I always have to make it a point, have my cards with me to pass them out to people. So that's another way. Go to events, go to screenings, go to and various events like that, award shows, any of that stuff. Another great opportunity to publicize what you're doing. As I said, there's publicizing through the social media path, there's publicizing through in-person networking. So those are the basic ways that I try to get people familiar with my podcast and have them on my show.
That's awesome. Well, is there any advice you can give out to any of the young people out there that might be trying to get into this industry? Do you recommend anything for them?
Well, let's see. I guess if you're interested, in one way, I think a great way of getting in there is just like the same thing I said before. Go to screenings of films, go to award shows. That's a perfect place to find people in the industry, and mingle with the people. Tell them that you're interested. Like for example, if you see the producer of the film that's being screened, go introduce yourself. Tell them what your interest is. So that's one great way. You get out there and as I said, go to attend these events. And if you, and on social media, if you see somebody that you're interested in, follow that person, see what kind of work that person does, research that person, become familiar with the person. And once you really know a lot about it, you might be able to, send a direct message to to the person, to the producer or the actor or whatever. And you never know what's going to happen. You could end up getting a response. So it's a multifaceted approach. Don't turn down any opportunity to contact people or mingle with people or network with people. And I think that would be the best. I think that would be the best thing to do.
I think that's a great message. Yeah, the networking is huge in this industry. You need to get to events. Just like the Oscar event. I mean, anyone out there that's watching, you really should consider going to that event. That's like one of the most important events every year in California. The Oscars. It's huge. And this year when I went to it, I not only got to go to that event, but I got to go to a couple other events, because of my networking that I did, years prior. I was invited to other, events, and one was a big one, for famous actors that was at. So, and I even got to go to a gifting suite with my one, actress friend. So the only way I would have been able to do that is if I would have met these people. So, networking is very huge in the industry, and I've made a lot of friendships over the years, and I'm so happy that I took that step and did that because, I've met so many people around the world, and, I would highly recommend just, going and, start saving up for it now and make the time and do it. Because it's definitely worth it. It really is. I mean, even you, Alan, you should consider going. You would love it. You and Randy could go. It's just, it's an amazing time.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I think that one day we actually will get out there, because I mean, it's perfect for, I mean, I would love that. As you said, the perfect way to get people to know about you. Yeah.
And then I'll give you an example too, like Samara. She just created this new magazine, The Hollywood, and I think it's Hollywood Elite. And I'm in the magazine. I just got notice I was in it a couple weeks ago. So, I mean, I got to be in a magazine, and, that's kind of, exciting. A Hollywood magazine at that. I mean, I'm on the East Coast and I'm in the Hollywood magazine right now out there in California. So, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I would have never networked, I wouldn't get these opportunities.
Yeah. Is the magazine out, or is it coming out in the future?
I believe it's out. Yeah. And she's shared it on social media as well. So she has all the pages on social media, but you can also buy a copy, I believe, as well too. So. That's another way that I didn't mention yet, just like you did. If you can get written up in an article in print, another way, great way. I've had articles written about me too in the past as well. And again, I would have never got these articles if I wouldn't have, gotten in connection with the people. So it's very important to network.
Yeah, definitely. So, you said that, a lot of potential guests, they reach out to you. Mm-hmm. And, so, I mean, how do you decide which guests, to have? Does everybody who apply get on your show eventually, or do you have certain qualifications for people to be on your show?
Not everyone. I mean, most of the people so far I brought on, it just depends on, I always check everybody out and make sure they're legit. I mean, I've had people that say one thing and they're really not, or, they may want to be trying to attack somebody personally, and I'm not bringing someone on my show that's going to do that. We're here to help the community. We're here to promote factual stories and, promote actors and film producers and, anyone out there that's trying to promote themselves. I welcome that, but I want to make sure everybody that comes on my platform is, being honest and not trying to, attack somebody else or a company or, whatever. So I've had to turn some people down, but most of the people that have reached out to me, they are going to be coming on the show. And I've even had music record companies. Recently, I've had music record companies reaching out to me with their agents for their singers. And I have some people coming on in October and November, and they're famous country singers. And the record company has emailed me. This is no joke. I swear to God. I've been getting these type of emails, and they're contacting me through my website, crystalstarnes.com. They're getting in contact with me that way. So, I mean, obviously my name is out there, and, I'm getting record companies now, and, I'm just getting various people. I mean, I'm getting legend people too, these legend singers, from years ago, they're wanting to come on. Like I have a couple of people coming on from Australia. They're country singers. They're over there touring right now, and they're going to be coming on. And I just got like random people. It's just like I open up my email and I'm like, oh, okay, who's this? So then I have to research them and figure out, oh, who is this? And I don't know what the interest is with me, but I'm welcoming it. I mean, when I got into this, I got into it for the Voice for Victims. That was my focus. And somehow I ventured off to dealing with people in the industry and, mainly actors. And now I'm getting, country singers, I'm getting rappers, I'm getting rock stars, I'm getting like various people, like a wide range of people, and they're seeking me. I'm not seeking them because some of them I've never even heard of them, and after I Google their name, I'm like, oh, they're famous, but I didn't know who they were. Do you know what I mean? So it is kind of a compliment in my eyes that, wow, I'm really impacting the world, because these people want to be on my show. I mean, I think it's great. I mean, it's like an intrinsic reward for me to keep going, because, there's not a lot of funding that happens with this, with our podcasting. I don't know if you would agree with that. We basically have to spend money to do this on our own. But it's an intrinsic reward to keep us going. It makes us feel good. It makes us feel good that we're helping people. And, that's why I keep going and I keep doing it.
Yeah, I think that is an amazing occurrence that you got a record company to recognize you. I mean, I think that is fantastic. And that leads to multiple guests, all these people working for this particular record company, they're definitely potential guests for your show. Now that this record company knows about you, it's amazing. So it's great. Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just a shock. I just go with the flow every day. I just figure it's a new experience. God's just bringing these people to me, and I'll do my best to help promote them and get them to the next level, of their success, and what's nice is I've connected, like the one lady I did her show about a week or two ago, Lena Page. She's a celebrity country singer, and she is an amazing lady. Her music is amazing. It's impactful. And every song that she's done has a message. And she also did a song with Tanya Tucker. She's a famous country singer. Yeah. And, her and I related very well because we both own horses. So, after the show, we talked about our horses and everything. And, so it's kind of nice when you connect with these people because, you have them on your show, but then you might find something that's similar. You might have the same interest. So then, you end up connecting with them and you may end up having a friendship with them, down the road. So it's kind of nice being connected to people around the world because, I don't know, it's just neat how we're all coming together and we're all, getting acquainted and, I don't know. I just think it's really neat. And again, it goes back to social media. If we didn't have social media, none of us would have been able to connect.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. See, you mentioned, the cost of doing business, so to speak. And that's a challenge for all of us, right? Even spending, the time you spend pairing, that's the same thing. There's like a cost in a way. They have to spend time to, get the word out there, say, I have a show coming up, and things like that. I mean, Lisa and I definitely, spend quite a bit of time getting myself prepared. I mentioned that earlier about, setting up the publicity for the show and everything. All that takes time. So, so that's another thing is that, I guess that's another consideration that people have to do a podcast or do any kind of a show like that is the actual cost of doing it. And, will it be a financial reward? That's always tough. I don't know really, which really brings up, the question of things like sponsorships. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, so, do you go for sponsorships? How does that work with you?
Well, I, advertise sponsorships, I'll advertise their business on my show or I'll put their business logo on my website. I have, package deals out there that I'm advertising, But, I will be honest, there's not a lot of people out there that, want to spend any money, to help with it. And, that part's a little upsetting, because, obviously we have cost in this and we're trying to do something for the community. We're trying to help people, and, our time is valuable. So, I wish there were more sponsors. And I mean, that's one thing that, like I don't know a lot about in that part of it, and I'd like to learn a little bit more about that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Same thing with me, about getting sponsors and stuff like that. Yeah. And being in the primarily, well, even completely in the indie world, someday I would like to become an actual Hollywood production, be part of that. But so far for me, it's just been in the indie world. But people have said, even if you're in the indie world, it is possible, to get paid to actually, do something you really want to do. So that's something I have to find out more about, is how people do that. I was talking to some actors the other day, and we were talking about just that. So I said, oh, if you're in the indie world, doesn't that mean that you shouldn't be expecting to get paid? And they say, no, that's not the case. So that's something to find out about, how to make that happen. And when, just like you said, it's sometimes people, they don't want to get involved, but maybe some people might. You just don't know. I guess you just have to wait for the right opportunity, and I guess that should have to happen maybe for both of us.
Right. I just figure if we keep going, eventually we'll meet the right person, or somebody will see our show and they'll support what we're doing, and maybe they'll make a donation, or maybe they'll say, hey, I'd like to advertise on your platform, and then, we'll have it happen. So I just figure we'll just keep going and trying to help as many people as we can. And, that's all we can do, and just have faith in God. That's what I do. I just have faith and figure it will work out. And I'm doing a good thing, and you're doing a good thing, Alan. We're both trying to help as many people as we can, and we will be rewarded one day. I mean, I really believe we will.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. People who reach out to me to, for me to be part of their projects. One of the things I always have a certain set of rules that I say, this is what I want. I have this whole bullet list of things. I always say, this is what I want. And one of the things that I'm doing now is, one of the things I always think I'm going to have them on my show. If I'll be working on their project, I'll also have you on my show. Another way of sort of spreading, of people learning more about the show, learning more about me, because these people, are on my show. Then the people who know them will learn about my show, etc. And maybe they will ask to be on too. So this is just another way of getting people to know more about what I'm doing.
Right. With that being said, do you have a website or contact information you would like to publicize to the audience today?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. The best thing to do is like at this single entry point, which then you can find about all my other platforms from that, is I'm at supportourcreatives.com, and then through there you can get to my website, and that's my website. I might have a blog there, and I have various things. I talk about what I do, my various services, stuff like that. And in addition to that, you could also get to my my podcast, which conveniently is also called Support Our Creatives. So so that's the one-stop shop. Go to supportourcreatives.com, and from there you can get to everything else. And I want to point out that right now, I used to do what I call interview by email. That was when I would do it. That would be when I would do print interviews with people and put it on my blog. So, but now, as I said, now that I have a podcast, I do, instead of doing it like that, in print, I do it as part of the podcast. So, that's something that has changed. Of course, it took me a long time before I even started to become comfortable with doing stuff like interviews, talking to people and stuff like that. And I still have a long way to go, in terms of my comfort level, but it was really a big jump for me to start doing interviews, first via audio and now via video and audio. So once again, you always have to you have to try to push yourself, even if it might be a little bit uncomfortable. And I find it a lot better to do interviews like this, but rather than having to do an interview in print. So I think it's a lot better this way. So that's why I've transitioned to where my podcast is actually most important thing that I'm doing right now. Besides, of course, working with the other people, but once again, I work with the other people. I have them on my show, so it kind of goes around in circles. I help you, you help me, and we'll all benefit because if one of us is successful, then we're all successful, right?
I agree with you. And, you talked about your comfort level and you were doing the audio podcasting. I was in the same boat as you at the beginning. I did not want to come out on video. I just wanted to do it audio. And I had to get over that fear. But now that I've gotten over that fear, I love doing it. I think it's more personable if people see you. And I think people are more apt to watch it versus listen to it. And I mean, people do listen. I get a lot of stats on my audio podcasting as well. But, I think that, it's different populations. Some people like the radio, some people like TV. So it's better to do video, and then you can also upload it on audio, and, you have two platforms.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And most of the popular streaming platforms really are audio only. So therefore, as I said, if you do video and audio, once again, it's easy enough to just extract the audio and use that. But it gives you, the opportunity to also have video on those platforms that support video. It does make it better, I think, to have both video and audio. And Spotify, where I repurpose all my podcasts, you actually can watch both the full video and audio experience if you upload to Spotify. That's why Spotify is what I publicize the most. But, yeah.
Well, yeah. Thank you so much for coming on today. I enjoyed talking with you. And, anyone out there that's watching or listening, please reach out to Alan Greenstein. If you're a podcaster, have him on your show. You can be on his show. He has the company Support Our #Creatives, and you can find him at supportourcreatives.com. And, thank you again so much for coming on. I enjoyed talking with you. And, anyone out there that wants to be on the Crystal Starnes show or Voice for Victims, you can reach out to me at crystalstarnes.com or voiceforvictimsradio.com or voiceforvictimspodcast.com. I'd love to hear from you. We're trying to spread awareness and promote, anyone out there that has a story, to try to help as many people out there that might be suffering in silence. So I welcome all that. And, this show's also being aired on Jess TV as well. So, I want to give a shout out to Jess TV because, he is based in Canada, and it's, that TV company is recognized around the world as well. So, all the shows are getting aired there, and, there's huge publicity, over 700,000 views. So a shout out to Jess TV. And again, if you want a good nutritional product, go to healthyfirstnow.com and check out the website. There's a lot of nutritional products that could help you in various areas. So, well, I hope you all have a fabulous day. And until next time, take care, everyone. Support our #.